15 ways to smoke your back using dumbbells. Subscribe to my channel. Dumbbell row. The basic dumbbell row is one of the best exercises for your back, attacking both the lats and rhomboids. And if you do it right, focusing on keeping your hips and shoulders square to the ground, it'll build serious core strength, too. Just make sure not to round your back. One of the best parts about the dumbbell row, it's an exercise that you can eventually load up with serious weight, making it a key muscle building move. Start with 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Incline row. Not far behind the dumbbell row is the inclined row, one of the strictest row variations there is. When doing standard dumbbell rows, it's easy to wind up letting your torso rock back and forth, creating momentum instead of moving the weight solely with muscle. The incline bench helps eliminate that as you glue your chest to the pad. The incline bench also changes the angle of pull just slightly, helping you attack your lower lats more. Start with 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps. Elevated plank row. Add a core training component to the basic row by holding a plank position throughout the set. You'll work your back muscles as you would with a standard dumbbell row, but you'll be challenged to fight against rotational forces to hold your elevated position on the bench. The end result is a handy exercise that allows you to pull double duty for a more complete workout. Dumbbell pullover. This old school bodybuilding staple allows you to target your lats, but also hits your chest, shoulders, and core. The key here is to work from the proper overhead position on the bench, keeping your ribcage from flaring as you work through the reps. Make sure that you stay within a healthy range of motion for your, without overextending your shoulders. Elevated plank row hold. The elevated plank row hold, a move from fitness level up. The elevated plank row helps you build a strong mind-muscle connection with your back muscles while smashing your core. After establishing a sturdy elevated plank position, you row a dumbbell upwards and hold. But don't let it be a mere hold. Focus on continuing to pull upwards for the duration of the hold. Inclined pause row. Take the position from the inclined row, then make the exercise even tougher with an isometric hold. If you follow the exact protocol in the video above, you'll also torch your core as you work unilaterally. But the back should be the major focus, and you should be able to really emphasize the squeeze in your back during the final round of rows after all the isometric work. Half iso incline row count-up series. Want to level up the inclined row even further? Do it with the half iso incline row count-up series, which teaches your back muscles how to continue generating force even when they've pulled your arms back as far as they can. Understanding this principle is key to building back strength, and it will leave your lats and rhomboids with a major back burn. Renegade row. The classic renegade row is a solid way to blast your entire upper body. You hammer your chest and triceps during the push-up phase of the movement. Then, as you press up and row the dumbbell toward your hip, you crush your abs and stimulate your lats and rhomboids, essentially finishing with a plank row. A good starting point here, 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps per side. Towel grip dumbbell row. Ratchet up the forearm and stability challenge of the standard dumbbell row with Samuel's towel dumbbell row. Mechanically, this seems a lot like a standard dumbbell row, but the towel adds 2 challenges. First, you'll need to squeeze the towel aggressively to hold the dumbbell. Second, you get to work on keeping the dumbbell balanced and level, which will mean you'll need to use a slower, more controlled pull on each rep and hone your mind-muscle connection in the process. 2 position bent over row. The bent over row is another solid exercise that allows you to target your back muscles. This mashup of 2 variations allows you to work from multiple positions. Start holding the weights with your palms in a neutral position, pull up, then pause and flare your elbows for the eccentric portion of the movement to overload the rear delts. Upright row. Lots of smart trainers will tell you to totally skip upright rows, and if they're talking about variations that use straight bars, we agree with them. But there is a solid case for the dumbbell version of the exercise to torch your rear delts, which allows you to avoid most of the dangerous shoulder internal rotation trainers are concerned about. In order to keep your shoulders safer, make sure that your elbows never rise above your shoulders. V-taper dumbbell row series. The V-taper row series will help you build your outer lats and also add size and depth to your rear delts. Here, you're mixing a traditional elbow close to torso row with a row where your elbow flares outward. That flared outward row will attack your rear delts, building much needed mass behind your shoulders. The tempo used here will also blast your lats on the close rows, as you hold for a brief second. Farmer's carry. Another classic exercise, and a move that man's been doing since the beginning of time. The farmer's carry has you picking up heavy dumbbells and walking with them, typically either for time or distance. Either way, as you focus on squeezing your shoulder blades and tightening your abs, you build a bigger, stronger back, and a resilient body overall. 3-way elevated plank row. The 3-way elevated plank row is all about back muscle subtlety. You won't get to cheat much here, largely because most of your body is completely focused on maintaining a solid elevated plank position. That means the working arm gets to pile up very focused back squeezes. By shifting wrist positions, you get to hit different parts of your back, as you also challenge your core in new ways. The elbow flare position hits your rear delts, the standard elbow close to torso row hits your lats and rhomboids, and the reverse grip pull will focus in on your lower lats. TRX plank pause row. Think of the TRX plank pause row as a devastating challenge. You'll need an extra piece of equipment for it in the TRX. Once you have that, you get to establish an ultra-challenging TRX single-arm plank hold, which will carve your abs and obliques. From that position, you're rowing a dumbbell upwards. Your lats and rhomboids will do this in near complete isolation, in part because the rest of your body is almost completely focused on merely holding that devastating TRX plank. Subscribe my channel and press the bell icon for new video update.